Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to Affairscloud, Learn to Lead. My name is Vikas Rana. So students, we have an app by the name Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store for Android phones. Once you have downloaded and logged in with your Gmail ID, you will be transferred to your home page where you can see all the courses that are offered by us. Once you have purchased the course, you can see your courses in the My Course section. But why our courses are so better? Why we think we provide you one of the best content? Because we provide you content on daily basis. In the daily basis, we provide you current affairs with 20 questions quiz as well as the PDF of the current affairs of daily. Then similarly for weekly, on weekly basis we provide you current affairs PDF as well as a 50 questions quiz that will help you to revise all the content that you have learned. Then on monthly basis also we provide you top 100 current affair questions PDF that will be the compiled PDF of the 100 questions of that particular month that will be very helpful for you. And not just this friends, we provide you in English as well as in Hindi too. So both English and Hindi students can enjoy our courses. Apart from this friends, we also provide you banking related question answers, the banking related MCQ questions, the quizzes that will help you prepare for the bank exams. Not just that friends, we provide you a new way of learning, that is your infotainment infographics. That is a different and interesting way of learning. Apart from this, we cover 20 topic wise current affairs. These topics are important such as apps, portals, important days, books and authors days, national affairs, international affairs, sports, defense, all these topics, these are highly important and questions from these particular topics are asked. Also we cover state-wise current affairs also that will help you to prepare for your state exams. Also friends, as I told you, if you use the code Vikas10, you will be given extra 10% discount on the purchase you make. If you have any problem regarding login and your application, then you can contact us on support@of Affairscloud.com. This is our email ID and you can contact us on our mobile phone, that is 9677333862. Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs of 21st of September. The session will be very interesting, so do pay attention till the end. Yesterday I gave you some homework questions, so here are all the correct answers. Shreya has given all the right answers, so congratulations Shreya and best of luck for your future. Let's proceed with some one-liners and then we will be proceeding to the current affairs of this day. Welspun One Logistic Park signed an MOU with Haryana government so that they can invest 1500 crore rupees to set up warehouses in the state of Haryana. Chara Bijai Yojana, Mukhyamantri Bagwani Bima Yojana, E-Adhigam, all are these of Haryana government. MV Ram Prasad Bismil became the longest vessel to sail from Ganga to Brahmaputra via Bangladesh. Then 36th International Geological Congress will be held in New Delhi from 20th to 22nd of March 2022. And if we are talking about 36th National Games, where they will be held in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Alright, in 2022, recently only, in upcoming week or so, these games will commence and a proper village has been set up for this. Then similarly, if I ask you where will be the 35th National Games will be held, they were held in Kerala. Coming back, Karnataka developed a Dishank app to ensure easy access to land records. Indian Railways prepared a National Railway Plan, that is an NRP, for India 2030. West Bengal celebrated Dol Utsav or Dol Jatra. Mark this. And a festival of West Bengal, that is Durga Puja, was inducted into the Intangible Cultural Heritage List of UNESCO, and India is also a member of the panel on this World Intangible Cultural Heritage List of UNESCO. One more thing friends that I need to tell you regarding the content that we provide you. Say for example, we are providing you pocket wise PDF. We are providing you topic wise current affairs. We are providing you weekly current affairs. We are providing you monthly current affairs PDF, also top 100 questions PDF. So remember, pocket wise pocket PDF and your topic wise PDF, they will be released on the 7th of every month. Alright, on the 7th. Then weekly they are provided to you every 7 days. All right, we make sure that every 7 days you are provided with weekly current affairs. For monthly and top 100 questions, remember on 10th of every month or before the 10th of every month, you will be provided with the monthly current affairs PDF. All right, friends, the important thing that I want to mention here is that we provide content in English as well as in Hindi to all the students who are looking for the content of PDF in Hindi, because I have seen many times the students are asking for Hindi PDF, the content in Hindi. So students, for those students, those who are looking for Hindi content, you can check our Careers Cloud application, from where you can download the from the Google Store. You can download the app, and from that particular application, Careers Cloud application, you will be able to see various courses that are offered by us, and in those courses we offer you Hindi PDF along with English content also. Alright, so the students, those who are aiming for Hindi content, they can definitely check our Hindi PDFs also that are provided on the courses that are offered by us on our Careers Cloud application. Next news is Army Chief General Manoj Pandey has visited the Ladakh sector to review the Parvat Prahar. What is this Parvat Prahar? Remember, this is a 2 day long visit to, first of all, remember, this is a 2 day long visit of General Manoj Mukund Pandey, who is the Chief of Army Staff, and we are talking here about Parvat Prahar. Remember, this Parvat Prahar was held in the region of Ladakh at an altitude of 14,000 feet. Alright, and remember, this was held by the Mathura based One Strike Corps of the Indian Army. What I am saying, that remember, General Manoj Mukund Pandey, who is the Chief of Army Staff, visited, or he paid a 2 day visit to Ladakh to review the Parvat Prahar, this exercise, and this exercise took place during the disengagement process of the India and China patrolling point 15 in the Gogra Hot Springs area of the line of actual control in the Ladakh region. Then remember, this Parvat Prahar exercise was held in Ladakh Plateau, and it was at an altitude of 14,000 feet by the Mathura based One Strike Corps of the Indian Army. This is the main important point you need to remember, that this Parvat Prahar exercise that was held in Ladakh Plateau was by whom? It was by Mathura based One Strike Corps of the Indian Army. This exercise included infantry soldiers, T-90s, T-72 tanks, mechanized infantry, K-9 Vajra, Bofors, and M777 howitzers, helicopters, and aircrafts. Alright, I need to remember this. Next is we are talking about biometric data, and you can see here a thumb impression. What is this thumb impression signify here? That means, and we are talking about biometric data. If you remember, in the government offices, in all the government departments, now you will be seeing that the attendance of the people who are doing service there, who are doing jobs there, are done using the biometrics. And what is a biometric? That with the help of your thumb impression will be recorded, and it will be using that machine, it will be notified that you are an individual who are giving the present in the attendance there. Alright, I repeat, this biometric data, what does this suggest and how we can use this? That it will be that biometric or the thumb impression of all the employees working in that particular institution will be collected, and when an individual is just putting their fingerprint on that particular biometric machine, then the machine will recognize that this is so and so individual, and his attendance will be marked. So remember, Ministry of Home Affairs has issued rules for the Criminal Procedures Identification Act of 2022, which empowers police and central investigating agencies to collect biometric data on people who have been convicted, arrested, and detained. Now, what this is saying is that this biometric data that has been used in various government department offices, now this biometric data, these fingerprints, here you can see these are the fingerprints. So these fingerprints will be collected of people who have been convicted, arrested, and detained. Alright, this has been recently issued by Ministry of Home Affairs for the Criminal Procedure Identification Act of 2022. That means if with the help in any particular crime, the fingerprints or the biometrics of a person have been registered, then in next case, that means in future, if that person is convicted again for another case, then this data can be recognized and it can be matched, yes, this person has been involved in such activities earlier also. So remember, the law was passed by the Parliament in April 2022 that took into effect on April 2022. August 2022. Then remember NCRB. What is NCRB? You should know the full form. National Crime Records Bureau. I repeat, National Crime Records Bureau, which this operates under Ministry of Home Affairs. This is required under the regulations to create a standard operating procedure that specifies the devices and equipment that will be used to collect the biometric data. All right. So this is the news regarding this.
And another information to all our students and viewers, that remember friends, when you are preparing for IBPS RRB, you need to understand that our content that we provide you on our application, you will be seeing various different kinds of PDFs that will be very beneficial for you for the preparation of this particular exam. The content that is provided by us is up to the mark. It is top notch content. All right, when you will be going through the content, not just that content, if you are also watching our videos and you are then going for the revision in our Careers Cloud application, then you will realize that the process of learning that you are going through, first you are watching the video, then you are making notes, then after that you are going for attempting the quiz, also you are reading the PDFs that we are providing. So this whole process, this whole journey will be very beneficial for you, and along with the current affairs, along with the questions that we are providing for IBPS exams, are very beneficial to all the students. So I'll highly recommend to go and check this exam PDF. That will be very beneficial to all the students, and I assure you that the material that is provided there is top notch.
Next is Pramod Sawant. Pramod Sawant sir took charge as the Goa's chief minister for the second term. We know. Then Kerala became the first state to introduce carbon neutral farming methods. Also, if we are talking about Kerala, they have their own OTT platform. First state to have their own OTT platform, it is your C Space. Then they have their own internet service provider. Then in Kerala only, remember, we saw the Shelly app, that was a health and wellness application. Pushkar Singh Dhami took oath as the chief minister of Uttarakhand for the second term, and if we're talking about that particular time period, Yogi Adityanath also became the chief minister of UP for the second term. Then Union Health Ministry has launched BRICS Vaccination Research and Development Center. And if we are talking about research and development, we saw a report that was released by Niti Aayog that stated that India is spending least amount of money per capita on research and development. And recently a research and development policy was adopted by which state? It was adopted by Karnataka. And this question also can be framed in such a way that which is the best state for research and development in India, it will also be your Karnataka. Then India's merchandise exports touched $400 billion for the first time in a financial year of 2022. Then Jal Shakti Minister has launched Sujlam 2.0 campaign for the grey water management in the New Delhi. What is a grey water? Grey water is, you can consider it as a waste water, the dirty water, the impure water, all right, which needs to be treated before consumption. So who is our Union Minister for Ministry of Home Affairs? Amit Shah ji. And another, remember, highly important news that we were discussing, that Center has notified the Identification Act post to give cops access to biometric data, and it will be needed to collect the biometrics of all the people who have been convicted, arrested and detained for the future purpose also. Moving on. Next, we are talking about recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has inaugurated International Dairy Federation World Dairy Summit. I repeat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has inaugurated International Dairy Federation World Dairy Summit. And where was this inaugurated? This was inaugurated in Greater Noida. Highly important, friends. All right, and we are talking about this International Dairy Federation World Dairy Summit. This was held from when to when? So this, remember, this was a 4-day long event that was held from 12th to 15th of September. If we talk about this, this was a 4-day long event that was from 12th to 15th of September. This is a congregation of global and Indian dairy stakeholders, including industry leaders, experts, farmers and policy planners. The theme on which this particular International Dairy Federation World Dairy Summit 2022 was held is Dairy for Nutrition and Livelihood. Remember this. This is the theme and highly important, friends. So remember, friends, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who inaugurated this International Dairy Federation World Dairy Summit at India Expo Center and Mart, that is at Greater Noida. Then if we talk about IDF, that is your International Dairy Federation, who is the Director General here? Carolina Amon. And when was this established? In 1903 this was established. And where is the headquarter? Brussels, Belgium. And whenever Brussels, Belgium comes to your mind, you should also remember that Mango Festival was also held in Brussels, Belgium. That was inaugurated by whom? It was inaugurated by Piyush Goyal ji. Moving on to next news. Next, remember, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has onboarded 76 startups under the India Water Pitch Pilot Scale Startup Challenge. Was an event that was held at New Delhi. I repeat, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has onboarded 76 startups under the India Water Pitch Pilot Scale Startup Challenge. What is the basic highlight of this? What was this challenge and why we are discussing about it? This is basically, you can remember, this was a startup challenge on water management issues. That is, how can you manage water crisis? How can you manage water in different areas? Because we know there is a water crisis going all around the world. All right. So individual startups will here be provided with 20 lakh rupees as a funding support. Some water startups across the nation presented the innovation ideas today. And remember, India Water Pitch Pilot Scale Startup Challenge. It was launched by whom? It was launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And who is our Union Minister here? He is Hardeep Singh Puri ji. As you can see him in the picture, he is Hardeep Singh Puri. Alright, so we can say that in order to bring or in an order for the breakthrough solutions in the water management, in order to come up with different innovative solutions in the water management system, this was launched. This was the India Water Pitch Pilot Scale Startup Challenge. And where was this launched? It was launched in New Delhi. By whom? Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And 76 startups were onboarded under this event. The startup has been shortlisted by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs through a challenging process that was launched in March 2022 under Amrit 2.0 scheme. And what is this Amrit? Amrit is your Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0 mission. Highly important. The shortlisted startups, as I mentioned, will be provided a financial support of up to 20 lakh rupees per startup so that they can work on that water supply management, used water management, water body rejuvenation and groundwater management, etc. Also remember, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs also launched a startup gateway where the startups can apply and be shortlisted by the Ministry of Financial Support. So these are the things that you need to remember regarding this, and 76 startups were onboarded for this particular project so that water rejuvenation technology can be brought up, new innovative solutions can be done in the field of water safety or water startups. All right, so how can we manage water in a better way? How can we use water in an efficient way? How can we keep our groundwater clean? Because we know, because of the rising chemicals and use of these chemicals, the water is being polluted. And not just the water, groundwater is also being polluted because of these chemicals that we are using, because they with time seep into the soil and mix with the groundwater by contaminating it. Moving on, friends. Next, we are talking about INS Satpura and P8I maritime patrol aircraft that arrived in the Darwin, Australia to participate in the multi-naval exercise Kakadu. Kakadu. Alright, what is the name of the exercise? Multi-naval exercise Kakadu 2022. So remember, from Indian side, it was your INS Satpura and P8I maritime patrol aircraft of the Indian Navy that took part in this particular exercise Kakadu. That you need to remember who was the who hosted this exercise. This particular exercise, that is Kakadu, was hosted by whom? It was hosted by Royal Australian Navy that was supported by Royal Australian Air Force. I repeat, Royal Australian Navy that was supported by Royal Australian Air Force hosted this particular exercise Kakadu, and this exercise in the first time that was observed in 1993, or we can say this exercise was started in 1993, and it is a joint enabled biennial exercise. All right. So another thing that you need to remember, around 19 vessels took part in this, 34 aircraft took part in this exercise, more than 3000 personnel from 25 different countries took part in this Kakadu exercise. And from Indian side, it was your INS Satpura and P-8I maritime patrol aircraft of the Indian Navy that took part in this exercise. As we saw, Kakadu, it was initiated in 1993, joint enabled biennial exercise hosted by Royal Australian Navy and supported by Royal Australian Air Force. So who, if question is asked, which is the organization that hosted this Kakadu exercise? It was Royal Australian Navy. And remember, in this particular exercise, from Indian side, who took part? It was your, which INS took part? It was your INS Satpura that took part in this particular exercise. Next news is regarding Kisan Credit Card. Remember, Federal Bank has launched a pilot project for instant credit card lending in Tamil Nadu. How this credit card, Kisan Credit Card, will be beneficial for the people? This Kisan Credit Card is basically to help the farmers purchasing the right amount of products and goods for the agriculture needs. Say for example, they need to purchase seeds for the growth, they need fertilizers, they need to equipments or technology to plow their field, to provide water. All right, they need to pay for their electricity, for transportation, for all these things. A Kisan Credit Card has been launched in Tamil Nadu and it was launched by Federal Bank. Highly important, friends, remember. All right, as I told you, this credit card, all these facilities will be provided here. And remember, the interest rate that will be provided will also be low. Also, this card won't be able to, the farmers, that means they won't be able to use this credit card for any other purpose than that of an agriculture. So it was your Federal Bank that launched a pilot project for instant credit card KCC lending in order to digitize the rural finance in select districts of Tamil Nadu. The instant KCC was developed by RBI Hub, that is your Reserve Bank of Innovation Hub, a subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. It is a digital loan scheme, and this Union Bank of India also launched an end-to-end digitization of KCC product for farmers as a part of its flagship digitization transformation program Sambhav. It was launched by Miss A. Manikalai, who is the MD, that is your Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of UBI, Union Bank of India, in Harda district of Madhya Pradesh as a pilot project. Basically, pilot project means it is launched on a trial basis. If successful, then it will be launched pan India. If we talk about Union Bank of India, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Miss A. Mani Mekhlaiji, we just saw, headquarters in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And if we are talking about Federal Bank, who launched this Kisan Credit Card in Tamil Nadu for as a pilot project, that means as a trial project, the MD and CEO of this Federal Bank will be Sham Srinivasam. Where is the headquarter? Aluva, Kerala. And the tagline that you need to remember for Federal Bank is tag your banking partner. So these are the all things that you need to remember for this particular Kisan Credit Card scheme that was launched by Federal Bank in Tamil Nadu on a pilot basis. Next news. Next is related to Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology, that is IDRBT, Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology. This is a unit of Reserve Bank of India and that has developed a novel technology that allows people in remote, hilly and forest areas without satellite signal to access banking services. I repeat, in order for the people who are living in the remote areas such as forest areas, hilly areas where there is no satellite signal, all right, there this IDRBT, Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology, has developed a novel technology that will allow the people to use banking services. All right, and this will be based on long range radio. All right, using this long range radio, people who are living in the remote areas will be able to access to the banking services. Highly important, mark this. Next we are talking about SBI Foundation and World Wildlife Fund. So SBI Foundation and World Wildlife Fund India has partnered to generate a fine scale information on red panda species as a transboundary level and engage in the safeguarding the habitat of the red panda in the Kanchenjunga area of the Sikkim and West Bengal. Highly important, friends. SBI Foundation and World Wildlife Fund India, these two organizations came for the or to generate the fine scale information or to generate and to save the boundaries of the red panda species and engage them in the safeguarding the habitats of the red panda in Kanchenjunga, that is in Sikkim, and the districts of West Bengal. Highly important. So two locations that you need to remember are Sikkim and West Bengal. What we are trying to save and what we are trying to develop a habitat for the which species, it is for red panda. And which two organizations came together here, it is your State Bank of India Foundation and WWF India. They will be coming together and they will be working together to safeguard the habitats of red panda in the Kanchenjunga area of Sikkim and West Bengal. As the event was organized at the Himalayan Geological Park in Gangtok, Sikkim, to celebrate the International Red Panda Day. We will be discussing about it. That can you tell me when is your Red Panda Day observed? It is on 17th of September. We observe Red Panda Day, and this is not that every year on 17th of September we observe this. This Red Panda Day is usually observed on the third Saturday of September. So every year on third Saturday of September we observed Red Panda Day. This year in 2022 it was 17th September. In 2021 it was your 18th September. In 2023 it will be your 16th September that we observe as the Red Panda Day. All right, International Red Panda Day. Next we are talking about World Bank. World Bank's board of director approved a loan of $150 million to Punjab for the management of financial resources and improved access to public services. I repeat, World Bank's board of executive directors has approved a loan of $150 million to Punjab for the management of its financial resources and improved access to public services. This $150 million loan has a maturity period of 15 years, including a grace period of 16 months. Here, the World Bank would support in strengthening the institutional capabilities of the various government departments, manage fiscal risk, and make informed policy choices to support the sustainable growth. Highly important. All right, moving on. Next, Competition Commission of India has approved the amalgamation of JioCinema, that is an OTT over the top platform, with Viacom 18 Media. JioCinema is similar to that of a Netflix, Amazon. All right. So Viacom 18 Media Private Limited has recently amalgamated with JioCinema OTT. Highly important. All right, if we discuss about it, it was your CCI, that is your Competition Commission of India, that has approved the amalgamation of Jio Cinema OTT, that is the over the top platform, with Y18 Media Private Limited, Viacom 18. All right, following an investment by BTS Investment 1 PT Limited and Reliance Projects and Property Management Service Limited, the partnerships under this particular partnership, Reliance Jio Cinema OTT will be transferred to Viacom 18. That means this platform will be transferred to this Viacom 18. Now they will be merged together. Moving on. Next news, INS Vijay, Indian naval ship Ajay, has been decommissioned after 32 years of its glorious service. I repeat, Indian naval ship Ajay P-34, the second Abhay class anti-submarine warfare ship of the Western Naval Command, was decommissioned where at Naval Dockyard in Mumbai, Maharashtra, after 32 years of its service. I repeat, which was the Indian naval ship that was decommissioned at the naval dock in Mumbai, Maharashtra after 32 years of its service? It is your Indian naval ship Ajay of Project 34. All right, this was commissioned on 24th of January 1990 in the Poti, Georgia, in the former Soviet Union. After 32 years of its service, now INS Ajay has been decommissioned. All right, highly important. Then remember this INS Ajay. This was built in 1960 and it was first indigenously built ship in independent India. It was delivered in 1961 by Garden Street Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited of Kolkata, West Bengal. It was gifted to Bangladesh in 1974 where it served as the Bangladesh naval ship Surma also. So question can be asked, what is the name of Indian naval ship when it was gifted to Bangladesh in 1974 it was named as BNS, that is Bangladesh Naval Ship Surma. And now this Indian naval ship has been decommissioned. Moving to some other news, Deloitte's Global Power of Retailing 2022, Reliance Retail ranked 56th, whereas Walmart Incorporation has topped this list. M3M Huron Global Rich List of 2022 was released. Mukesh Ambani emerged as the richest Indian and Asian. Elon Musk topped it globally. We saw this. Now remember, this data has been changed, and who has emerged as the richest Indian? He will be Adani. All right, remember this Mukesh Ambani, it has been changed by Adani Group, and Adani has become the richest Indian, richest Asian, and now he is the second richest person in the world also. Apart from this, he has bought ACC and as well as Ambuja Cement, and by this purchase, he also became the second largest cement maker in India. Then coming to Mahatma Gandhi Green Triangle, this was inaugurated at Madagascar. World Happiness Report of 2022 was released where the rank of India was 136 and it was topped by Finland. Prasar Bharati signed an MOU with Australia's public service broadcaster to boost the cooperation. Important. All right, moving on. Next, we are talking about sports. Bangladesh has won the 2022 South Asian Football Federation Women's Championship. This tournament was played from 6th to 9th of September at the Dashrath Rangshala Stadium, that is in Kathmandu, Nepal. So the question can be asked, where was the tournament for South Asian Football Federation Women's Championship played? It was in Nepal, Kathmandu. And who won this? It was the Bangladesh who won the 2022 South Asian Football Federation Women's Championship. Remember, this was the 6th edition of this championship, and Bangladesh defeated Nepal by 3-1 goals in the final match. All right, highly important. Direct question, that who won the South Asian Football Federation Women's Championship for 2022? It was Bangladesh, and it was the 6th edition of this game. Next, also we talk about Bangladesh. Bangladesh cricketer Rubel Hossain has retired from the Test cricket. All right, Test cricket we are talking about. Another thing you need to remember about Bangladesh is that recently Adani Group has announced that they will be supplying electricity to Bangladesh. All right. Next news, ICC International Cricket Council made a ban on the use of saliva to polish the ball and announced a lot of changes to its playing condition with an effect from October 2022. Remember, some new changes has been done in the International Cricket Council rules, where even if there is a misconduct of the bowling team, they will be awarded, the batting team will be awarded with some extra runs. All right. Then if any individual batter is out, be it a run out or be it any kind of out, then the new batsman will be coming to the batting end only. All right, that means he will be facing the balls. And there are some other changes such as batter returning when caught, use of saliva to polish ball has been banned, incoming batter will be facing the ball always, then strikers ready to face the ball always, unfair movements by the fielding sides will be treated and will be penalized by some extra runs. Running out of a non-striker end is also banned. Then bowlers throwing towards the striker's end before the delivery should also be taken care of. All right, highly important. So one of the important ban that you need to remember that was announced by ICC in cricket rules is the ban of saliva was made permanent. All right. Even when you saw earlier there was a no issue regarding this statement, but after the COVID-19 hit, we saw that the use of saliva was permanently banned because of the communicable disease that COVID-19 is. Also, ICC has announced its playing condition after the Chief Executive Committee approved recommendation from the Saurav Ganguly, who is the chairman of the ICC Men's Cricket Committee. Moving on, Prashant Javeri appointed as the CEO of Flipkart Health Plus. RBL Bank's interim CEO and MD Rajiv Ahuja got the extension for 3 months by RBI. United Nations appointed Jyoti Ghosh to high-level advisory board on multilateralism. Rajesh Gopinathan reappointed as the MD and CEO of TCS. Jay Shah reappointed as the president of the Asian Cricket Council for 1 year. Shankar Prasad Sharma appointed as new Nepal envoy to India. Then if we talk about International Red Panda Day, when do we observe this? We just saw it was on 17th of September. It is usually observed on 3rd Saturday of September. And remember, it is in 2022 it was 17th September, in 2021 it was 18th September, and on 2023 it will be 16th September that we observe this International Red Panda Day. Then if we talk about red pandas, where do we observe these, or where are these red pandas widely found? They are found in the mountains of Nepal, India, Bhutan, China and Myanmar. Next, International Coastal Cleanup Day. As you can see, there is a plastic floating in the ocean, and in order to clean this plastic, as we know these plastics are non-biodegradable, they won't be degraded with time in these oceans or in any landfills. So in order to clean these oceans, because these can be very dangerous for the aquatic life, once they consume this plastic they won't be able to digest also in their stomach, so these can lead to the death of that particular animal or particular species that they are consuming this plastic. So in order to observe this and in order to bring awareness about this importance of preserving and protecting the oceans and waterways, this day 17th of September is observed as the International Coastal Cleanup Day. But also here you need to remember, this was usually observed on the 3rd Saturday of September. When do you observe this? On the 3rd Saturday of September we observe this International Coastal Cleanup Day. Similarly, in on 23rd of on 2022 we observe this on 17th of September. In 2021 it was 18th of September, and 2023 it will be 16th of September. Then remember, this is the 37th edition of the International Coastal Cleanup Day that we observe. Here the theme that you need to remember is connecting people for a trash-free coastline. I repeat, the theme that you need to remember here is connecting people for a trash-free coastline. Next, some states news. Recently, West Bengal cabinet has approved issuing letter of intent to Adani Group for a Tajpur deep sea port. I repeat, Government of West Bengal approved the proposal for issuing a letter of intent to Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited for the development of a greenfield deep sea port project at Tajpur that is located in West Bengal. So this letter of intent will be issued by West Bengal Maritime Board to Adani Group for the development of the particular port at Tajpur that is located in West Bengal. Also remember, Adani Group emerged as the highest bidder for the mega project. The estimated cost for the project is about 25,000 crore rupees. The project that would involve an investment of 25,000 crore rupees. Then remember, the port would entail an investment of 15,000 crore rupees, and the related port-led infrastructure development would involve another 10,000 crore rupees as an investment. Also remember what we are talking about here. The name of the port, it is a greenfield deep sea port project that is at Tajpur, West Bengal. Alright, and it is a deep sea port, and the Adani Group, it was the highest bidder for this, or it was the highest bidder for this mega project, and the estimated cost of this particular deep sea port that will be at Tajpur, West Bengal will be around 25,000 crore rupees. Alright. Another thing, remember, the port will be set up around 5 km from the national highway and around 117 km from Kolkata, West Bengal. The nearest railway station here is Rajnagar at a distance of 8 km. And remember, deep draft of 12.1 meter with 18 km channel and a width of with a tidal support of 3.9 meter leading to a net 16 meter draft facility enabling large cape-size vessels of 1 lakh deadweight tonnage will also be approved here. So these are the some data that you need to remember, and it was Adani Group that has won the bidding for the Tajpur deep sea project that is in West Bengal. Next we are talking about Justice T. Raja was appointed as the Acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court. I repeat, Justice T. Raja, a senior most judge of the Madras High Court, was appointed as the Acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court with effect from September 2022. The appointment was notified by the Ministry of Law and Justice. Remember this direct information. But before this, one more thing you need to remember, that Meghalaya has signed a memorandum of understanding that is government of Meghalaya has signed a memorandum of understanding with Tamil Nadu government for recruiting training of medical professionals. I repeat, government of Meghalaya signed an MOU with government of Tamil Nadu for supporting Meghalaya in the recruitment and training of medical professionals. All right, in order so that we can say doctors, nurses, support staff. All right, they owe for recruitment of these people. Government of Meghalaya signed an MOU with the Tamil Nadu government. This will be a first of its kind partnership between these two Indian states for the collaboration on knowledge sharing, capacity building, and improving the health service delivery. Highly important, do pay attention. Then next, remember, fifth in the series of the offshore patrol vessel, that is your OPV, ICGS Saksham has been commissioned in Goa. NATO military exercise Cold Response 2022 began in Norway. Then Lock Shield exercise is also of NATO. Ministry of Civil Aviation and FICCI has organized Wing India 2022. Where was this? In Hyderabad. And in Hyderabad, Telangana only we saw T-Hub 2.0 version launch. That was a to boost the startup ecosystem there. Then the third edition of India-Uzbekistan joint military exercise, the SLIC, began in Yangriak, Uzbekistan. Defense Ministry approved the ministry acquisition worth 8,375 crore rupees. Indian Army with Maharashtra Police conducted a joint security exercise. Suraksha Kavach 2 was also launched. So these are some other important current affairs, friends, that you need to remember, and it will be of very helpful for your preparation. Next is Gujarat government has announced first ever cinematic tourism policy for 2022 to 2027 in Ahmedabad. I repeat, it was government of Gujarat that has announced the first ever cinematic tourism policy for 2022 to 2027 in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. The tourism policy was announced by the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Bhupendra Patel, and the main objective here of this was to promote cinematic tourism through the development of film infrastructure and the creation of attractive opportunities for cinema in Gujarat. Highly important. All right. First ever cinematic tourism policy. It was launched where? It was in Ahmedabad, and it will be from 2022 to 2027. If we are talking about semiconductor policy, then also the state that adopted the semiconductor policy was Gujarat. Gujarat is becoming one of the leading manufacturing hub in India. So the state that is performing the best in production or in the manufacturing sector, it is your Gujarat. Similarly, if we talk about some of the manufacturing units that has been shifted here from Mumbai, Maharashtra, it is of artificial diamonds. Then we are seeing that semiconductor are also being manufactured here, as Vedanta and Foxconn has recently tied up to start developing the semiconductor chips in Gujarat. Also, if we are talking about Ahmedabad, remember in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, the 36th edition of the National Games will be held recently. Next news. So next, once we have, friends, all the current affairs for today has been done. Now let's revise them once quickly. Sarbanda Sonowalji has launched multiple development projects in Assam. You can just read about this from the PDF. Army Chief General Manoj Pandey has reviewed the exercise Parvat Prahar in Ladakh. Ministry of Housing Affairs has notified the rules for Criminal Procedures Identification Act of 2022 that is set to grant cops access to biometric data. PM inaugurated the IDF WDS 2022 in Greater Noida. 76 startups onboarded under the India Water Pitch Pilot Scale Startup Challenge by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Multinational Naval Exercise Kakadu 2022 was held in Australia. From India, it was INS Satpura and PATI Maritime Patrol aircraft participated in this exercise. Federal Bank and Union Bank has launched a pilot project for digitalization of KCC lending in Tamil Nadu and MP respectively. IDRBT has pioneered the development of new low-cost financial network to bring banking to remote places. SBIF and WWF India partnered for Red Panda transboundary conservation. West Bank or World Bank has approved $150 million loan for Punjab to improve the finances and service delivery. CCI approved the merger of Jio Cinema, that is an OTT platform, with Viacom 18. INS Ajay has decommissioned after 32 years of glorious services. Bangladesh won 2022 SAFF Women's Championship that was held in Nepal by 3-1. Bangladesh cricketer Rubel Hossain has retired from Test cricket. Next, ICC has announced the changes in the cricket rules. Saliva ban has been made permanent. As we know, this was started during the COVID-19 as it is a communicable disease, so saliva ban was saliva use was banned during that time, and now it has been made permanent. International Red Panda Day is observed on 17th of September. International Coastal Cleanup Day on 17th of September. West Bengal has approved for issuing LOI. I repeat, West Bengal has approved the issuing LOI to Adani Group for Tajpur Deep Sea project that is in West Bengal. Government of Meghalaya signed an MOU with Government of Tamil Nadu for recruitment and training of medical professionals. Justice T. Raja was appointed the acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court, and Gujarat government has announced the first ever cinematic tourism policy for 2022 to 2027 that is in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And 36th National Games will also be held in Ahmedabad, Gujarat only. So that's all for the day, friends. Now it's time for your homework. First question: what is the India's logistics cost as a proportion of GDP of 2022? Which country is the host of Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO in 2023? Vigyan Pragati, which received the National Rajabhaksha Kirti Award, is a science magazine related to which institution? I remember I have given these questions to many students, but remember, all the students that I am teaching have not commented them, so it is a quick revision for all those students also. Which state celebrated the Social Justice Day on the birth of reformist leader E. Ramaswamy Periyar? And fifth question is, which institution leads the Coastal Cleanup Day campaign in India? So these are your 5 questions. Now another question that I want to give you, 2 other current affairs that are highly important is, tell me who won, this is the 6th question, who won the Hungarian Grand Prix? Hungarian Grand Prix title for 2022. 7th question, tell me, recently mission Bhumi Putra. This Bhumi Putra was a mission of, and this was an initiative of which state? Tell me. And who won this Hungarian Grand Prix? These are your 7 homework questions. I want you to comment below. Very important. Alright. So that's all for the day, friends. Thank you and have a nice day. That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at Affairscloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is Affairscloud_official. In the end, friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number, that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue.